Hello, my fabulous midlife friends. Okay, today we're going to dive into the biggest challenge that midlife women are facing. And it's not what you think. Spoiler alert, it's not the midlife belly, although we've all been there. Or it's not those mystery chin hairs that pop up overnight. And again, we've all been there. Nope, it's the never ending balance act of everything: career, family, relationships, aging parents, empty nests, and trying to remember to drink enough water. Am I right? I'm a big fan of water. Don't get me started on water. So, if you've ever felt like you're juggling flaming swords on a unicycle, you're not alone. Today, we're talking about why midlife can feel so overwhelming. And we're going to talk about how to navigate it with grace and humor, of course. And most importantly, how to reclaim your time, energy, and your joy. So let's dig in. Okay, let's get real for a second. Midlife is not for the faint of heart, right? You're trying to crush it at work. You're trying to manage your family drama, deal with aging parents, and still find time to scroll Instagram while pretending you have your life together. I know Instagram and social media is just such a time suck. It's just a vortex, and it's really hard to resist it. And it's designed like that. They're totally hijacking our dopamine. So we got to stop doom scrolling. But here's why it feels so hard. First of all, we have unrealistic expectations. We were sold the idea of having it all, but nobody mentioned we'd be the ones doing it all. Isn't that right? But that's also falls under the invisible workload that I talk about a lot, which is it stems with us thinking we have to do it all because that's what we saw our moms do. But I want to invite you to question all of that. Because what happens is when our kids are little, we do have to do everything for them because they won't make it if we don't. And then as they get older, we don't change that relationship. We still keep thinking that we have to do everything. And then when they get even older, we start to resent that because we're like, why am I doing all the things? So it's just that as they grow, we haven't changed our relationship with how we mom and how we parent when they become more capable of doing things for themselves. It's just this mindset that we get stuck in because it's a societal construct and it comes from our parents or our moms and their moms and all generational pass down of we have to do everything. And if we don't, we're a bad mom. So we want to totally let go of that. And then second, we're in the sandwich generation. And I don't mean Subway sandwich, life is good. No, I mean you're taking care of the kids who still need you while aging parents need you even more. And so you're bouncing back and forth between these two groups, which is hard, especially if you're an only child or the only one taking care of your kids. And then there's the infamous self-care deficit. Let's be honest, self-care is the first thing to go when life gets busy. Actually, we a lot of the times don't even do it in the first place because that seems like we're being selfish. But I want to say no. The least selfish thing you can do is to take care of yourself because when you are happy, everybody around you benefits. Everybody, because you're not biting people's heads off and you're not overwhelmed and exhausted, and you can show up for people, you can be present. And that is how you win. But the result of all of this, we're exhausted, we're overwhelmed, we're wondering, is this it? But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. So how do we turn this midlife circus into a fabulous show where you are the star? It starts with rewriting the story that we are telling ourselves. So we're going to drop the myth of having it all. Because having it all doesn't mean doing it all. Prioritize what truly matters to you. And then let the rest go. Pro tip, The laundry doesn't need to be folded in perfect Instagram-worthy piles. It just needs to be clean. This was a big one for me. I can't remember how old I was or how this came into fruition, but it was this one moment where I had all these things that I told myself I had to do. And I stopped and I thought, how many do I actually have to do? Like, how many are critical to tomorrow, life going on? And it was really just like one thing, and I could let go of the rest. And I felt like that came from, my upbringing, and not like my mom never said, Heather, you have to do everything, but she did everything. That's how she showed up. And she cooked everything from scratch, and she just does all the things. But that's not me. And if I let go of the stuff that isn't me, and how do I know? Because I check in and I go, how do I feel about this? Does this feel like work? Does this feel like, ugh? Then that's not a me thing. That's something I feel obligated or that I have to do, which is crazy. So I let all of those things go. I bought store-bought desserts, and I bought foods that are prepared and ready to go, like total life game-changing hacks. And it started with me changing my thoughts about it. So I didn't think that I wasn't doing everything or I wasn't enough. I'm like, damn, look how much time I can save. And now I can do more of the things that I enjoy doing. And I also taught my kids to do their laundry when they were 7. And I'm like, there is no way in hell that my boys are going to be expecting other people to do their laundry. Nuh-uh, not on my watch. So I taught them at a very young age because it's their laundry and they're responsible for their laundry. So that's just how I roll. And number 2, you want to set boundaries like a boss. Learn to say no without guilt. Protect your time like it's the last piece of chocolate in the whole entire house, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's okay to say no. When you say yes and then it seems okay until that thing comes up on your calendar and you're like, damn, I should have said no. Just say no right away. It's okay. It's okay to say no. And you want to totally connect in with, do I want to do this or don't? Like, why would I be saying yes? Is it because of guilt? Then that's not a good reason. So don't do it. So always be checking in with that inner self, because your body is always giving you feedback by how you feel. Your emotions are the language of the body, and your thoughts are the language of the brain. And then 3, you want to reconnect with what lights you up. What's the one thing that you used to love and you stopped doing? Start small. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's dancing or dance class. Or even it could be like binge watching your favorite guilty pleasure show. Just make time for you. And whatever that is, a lot of the times we think, if I'm going to do something for myself, it has to be constructive. I'm like that all the time. So if it's at night and I'm feeling like I'm going to eat something, it's not because I'm hungry. It's because I feel like I should be doing something all the time. And once I really worked on that and squashed that because it's not true, then that was a game changer for me. And then number 4, ask for help. Please ask for help. You are not a superhero, although you're very, very close. Delegate, outsource, and lean on your support network. I've told this story before, but it's a powerful one, so I want to share it again. I remember I was cleaning up after dinner, and my kids, who are now older teenagers, like I can't remember how old they were literally sitting on the couch in the kitchen, and they were playing video games while I was cleaning up and washing dishes. And I looked around, I'm like, what the actual heck? And then I realized I can't be mad at them because this is what I created, because when they were little, when they're super small, they can't do dishes. And then this is what I was talking about, the invisible workload. I didn't adapt when they got older to be like, hey, now they can do dishes. And so as soon as I said, guys, this is how it's going to be. If I cook, you guys get to clean. And it was no problem. So it wasn't like they were doing it on purpose. That was the status quo. And as soon as I realized that and made a change, everything changed. It was so amazing. And now they make their own food and they clean up after themselves. because they're grown adults, and that's how we teach them to, show up in the world and participate in their own lives, that they're fully capable of doing all the things all the time. But that was a game changer. And it wasn't like I was mad at them. It was like, oh, how did this happen? Oh, it was a me thing. I just still have that old belief of that I should do everything when they were teeny tiny little cutie patooties. But they're not. They're big teenagers, fully capable. So that was a really good one. All right, so let's get practical. Here are 3 simple strategies that you can start today to take control of your midlife and find your mojo again. Create some time and space for yourself. Number 1, the daily power hour. Spend 20 minutes moving your body. Spend 20 minutes on self-care, whatever that looks like for you. Yes, a bubble bath, 100%. And spend 20 minutes planning your day. I like to do that the night before, actually, because then when I wake up, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I write it down on my whiteboard, and then I get to check them off as I go. I love checking stuff off. It gives me so much satisfaction to actually check stuff off. It is like, are you with me on that? Do you like doing that? Well, then this might be for you, an erasable board, just a small one that I put by my desk. And then the night before I go to sleep, before I'm finished my day, I think about what I'm going to do the next day and just make an awesome list. And that also helps me to sleep better, because then I'm not thinking about what I have to do the next day. Although last night I had a good sleep, but I was thinking about this video I was going to shoot. And I noticed I was thinking about it when I was sleeping, but I don't think I was dreaming about it. I think I was thinking about it. That was why it was so weird. I'm like, am I thinking about this while I'm sleeping? Okay. And then number 2, the 1 thing rule. Stop overwhelming yourself with endless to-do lists. Because if I look at a huge list and it's like it carries on from day to day, oh, that is so overwhelming. At the end of the day, if I haven't checked everything off, I just erase my list and then I start again for the next day. So ask yourself, what's the 1 thing I can do today or tomorrow, depending on when you're making your list, that will make the biggest difference? And put that at the top of your list. How can I make that happen? How can I check that guy off? So just 1 thing, because when we look at 20 things, we get overwhelmed. And when I get overwhelmed, you know what I do? I just shut the party down. I don't do anything. I'm like, okay, overwhelmed, can't do anything. I'm just going to sit over here in the corner and rock back and forth, right? So what's the 1 thing that I could do today that will make the biggest difference, the biggest dent? And then 3, you want to celebrate small wins. We always overlook the small things and we forget to celebrate when we're winning. And even just a small win is huge, because a whole bunch of small wins add up to big, huge wins. So did you drink your water today? That's a win. Did you say no to something that you didn't want to do or that didn't serve you, or your body was like telling you it's a no? That's a double win. Celebrate every tiny step, because progress is progress. When I'm coaching my clients, it's always celebrate the wins. I'll always start my call with tell me all the good stuff, because we have this negativity bias in our brain and we're always looking for the negative stuff. And that's, your brain's designed to do that, to keep you safe, right? Like danger, this could kill you. So we're always looking for that kind of stuff. So if you consciously focus your brain towards the good stuff, the stuff you have done, the stuff that feels like a win for you, and actually celebrate it, that's going to encourage you to keep doing more, because it's just one little step at a time. That's how you achieve big goals, is by doing one little thing every single day, being consistent. And that's the same way that you feel like you're succeeding, is if you celebrate one little win every single day. Every single day, just a teeny little win. Celebrate it in a way that feels good for you. What would be a good celebration for you? Quite often I'll tell my kids, and we'll do a dance party. Like, that feels good for me because I'm sharing, and then they're celebrating my win as well. That's so good. So what are you What was your small little win today? Or what were all the wins today? Because maybe you have more than one win. Maybe you're winning all over the place and you're not even realizing it because you're not paying attention to the wins. That's a good one too. Because let's be honest, sometimes just making it through the day without losing it or being overwhelmed deserves a round of applause or wine or both. Am I right? Like, I find though, as I get more into midlife, my days get easier. They really do, because I'm letting go of stuff and I'm allowing my kids to be grown-ups and do all the things, and I'm here as a backup, like a safety parachute just in case, like, because our goal as moms is to make ourselves irrelevant. And when I say that, sometimes I get pushback. But what I'm saying is we want our kids to be totally independent and to be able to take care of themselves. And of course, we want them to still love us and want to talk to us, but we don't want them to have to depend on us to do things. We want them to figure it out. We want them to be individual members of society who are contributing and being good humans. So that means we're working ourselves out of a job. We're making ourselves irrelevant. That's what I do with my coaching business too. It's like, hey, let's just have this relationship and then let me teach you all my tools, and then you go off and be awesome using those tools. So I find that midlife is getting easier. I really do. And then it becomes like, oh, now what do I do with my time? But not like, now what do I do with my time? It's like, oh, what do I want to create now? Where am I going to focus my attention? I get excited for it because I have all these ideas and I have all these things I want to do, and I just see the potential. It's so exciting. So here's what I want you to take away from today. Midlife isn't about surviving. It's about thriving. You don't have to juggle everything perfectly. That just isn't a thing. You just have to decide what's worth juggling and just let the rest fall. Seriously, maybe there's just one thing that you need to pay attention to and give all of your attention to, and that's okay. I just have this feeling like this happened a long, long time ago, where I let go of having to be busy all the time because I thought if I was busy, it made me important. I really had that discovery, and I'm like, damn, I don't need to be important by being busy. And I let everything go, like just doing. I just let it go. And that was a game changer for me. Remember, you are the director of your midlife story, my friend. You get to decide what's next. So drop the flaming swords, step off the unicycle, and focus on you, because you are worth it. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If this episode resonates with you, I really appreciate that. And I want to invite you to share it with a friend who needs to hear it. And remember, midlife isn't a crisis. It's your time to shine. So don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps other fabulous midlife women find this podcast. And as always, you can join me in the Mastering Midlife membership for even more support, inspiration, and a whole bunch of laughs, and your new best friends are waiting for you. Thank you for listening. Always love yourself first, no matter what else is going on. Always put you at the top of the list, sister. And have an amazing day.